Say goodbye. Head to Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa. There is nobody else out here. There are some crab pots around that they come by to check. But basically, got this beautiful harbour to ourselves. It's getting quite warm, actually a little bit humid today.
Last time on Adventure Adrift, we took advantage of San Miguel Island's isolation and set up camp as the only people on the island for the night. Watched a historic Spanish galleon arrive in the harbor, then set off with the ranger on a hike across the island to visit one of the largest sea lion rookeries in the world. Having spent a week at San Miguel, it was time to pick up anchor and say goodbye. Although the harbor did try to keep us there. We managed to shake off the kelp from our anchor and set off for Santa Rosa Island, which is the second largest of California's Channel Islands. Hoping for a tasty fish dinner, we put out our hand lines. There are many marine preserves around these islands, so it's important to check your map before throwing out a line, and a California fishing license is also required. This turned out to be a great spot to have the lines out. We reeled in our first fish of the day and decided to throw him back as he looked like a rather small bonita, which aren't the best fish for eating. Not 5 minutes later, we had another bite on the line. It was another small guy, and we decided to throw him back as well.
Kind of like stripes on his back, or maybe that is the same. Oh, yeah, that's smaller. Not the same guy.
No. 20 minutes and is it 5 or 6?
Fish
5?
number 5.
5 fish on the same lure in like 20 minutes.
The first ones were really small, but we thought they were bonita, so we didn't keep them because they're really small, and bonita aren't the best eating.
Yeah.
But now looking at it, we think they're mackerel.
I think at least the second one I'm pretty sure is a mackerel, but
Yeah.
we were throwing them all back. We had a couple get off the line, and now we've got another one on the line here, so Hillary's like fighting with it here now. So Hillary's about to reel in fish number 6.
We had 3 get off.
Yeah. We're cruising along. We've got a nice day actually. The wind picked up. Oh, it's nice. It's not very nice weather-wise. But we've got about, we had 18 knot gusts before, but we're probably about 10 to 11 winds right now. I'm gonna head
Off
this
again.
What? The crappy lure. Crappy
It's a
lure.
good lure, a crappy hook.
Crappy hook or something. Doesn't keep them on there. Want to get some?
Another fish. When we pulled in our line at the end of the day, we noticed the barb had bent or worn off, so a new hook is on the shopping list. But we will be sure to keep that popular lure.
Let it out a bit.
We sailed in to Betcher's Bay on the northeast side of Santa Rosa. We successfully made it onto the pier.
It's a big swell right now.
Yeah, I'd say about 5-6 foot swells. And
Coming into the pier. So we hauled up Makara, you can see.
the pier is used as a landing spot for commercial boat service that brings visitors from the mainland out to these amazing islands. However, the pier's original purpose was for ranching. Sheep and cattle ranching began on Santa Rosa in 1844, and the island passed through several owners until the Vale and Vickers Company acquired all of the shares and complete ownership in 1902. So this here is what's left over from a really big cattle ranch. It was a cattle ranch for over 100 years and one of the biggest in Santa Barbara County. I think it had 9,000 head of cattle at one time, and it actually operated up until 1998. It was the very last island cattle ranch in the continental U.S. It's a beautiful place, but hard to get cows out here, I imagine. Much remains of the island's ranching past, including the original ranch house, which is believed to be the oldest wooden home in Santa Barbara County, dating back to 1855. Over the years, Vale and Vickers built up the basic infrastructure on the island, creating a successful ranching operation. Santa Rosa also has a rich archaeological history. Found here are many Chumash artifacts, some of the oldest human remains in North America, dated up to 13,000 years old, and even pygmy mammoth skeletons. We're going to go hike up and see the Torrey Pines up here. They're one of 2 places in the world where they grow naturally, here in San Diego.
Not gonna go hike to Torrey Pines.
No, the trail is flooded. Water Canyon has too much water in it.
Yeah, it might be saltwater though. I think it might have had a high tide.
It looks like it got flooded by a really high tide, and the trail's all underwater, and the bridge is in the middle of the water.
Yeah, so we could get there, we'd have to take our boots off and wade through, and we're a bit exhausted today still from the other hike. They're back there. Sounds like a lot of work to get there, and we still have to get back to the boat.
Which is going to be a challenge.
Big swells, a lot of wind. Tomorrow we're going to leave the islands, I think.
Yeah, it's our last day on the Channel Islands,
Yeah.
I believe. With a little luck and good timing, we were able to safely launch and get into Makara between the large swells and make our way back to Varuna.
There's a lot of fog and low cloud this morning. Everything was very wet up here. Very wet. And we're trying to get underway and head straight to Long Beach tonight, through the night. Hillary's having some fun getting all this kelp off the anchor. There's a lot of bloody kelp on there. I'm just here to make sure she doesn't fall in. Or help her fall in. A little bit of up. There must be another way to not get so much kelp around. Don't anchor near kelp, maybe?
Probably do it.
We've just left our anchorage on Santa Rosa Island. You can see Santa Rosa over here on your right. And then I'm out here spotting crab pots. There's one right here. And that's what we're seeing a lot of right now, just a lot of crab pots. So I'm on lookout duty. Hillary is down below cooking us some brekkie. I believe she's doing some huevos rancheros. Dan, our wind vane, is steering us along good back there. Nice downwind run right now. It's probably take us through till tomorrow easily sometime. It is a beautiful day out here. The fog's burning off. So we've got the fishing line out. So where Hillary caught her 6 fish the other day. You can see, probably see all the seagulls back there flying around trying to chase our lure. They all think it's a little fish and they want some.
Breakfast time.
It's nice. Thank you.
We took advantage of the calm downwind sail to do some cooking. We carry a few staples on board that allow us to make quite a few things ourselves, including yogurt in a thermos from powdered milk and fresh homemade bread. It was a bit bittersweet sailing away from the Channel Islands for the last time. While we had never planned to stay here so long, we had been enchanted by the natural beauty of these islands, appreciating them in their natural state. It is quite remarkable to visit a place so close to one of the largest metropolitan areas in the world that remains relatively untouched. These islands are a true glimpse back in time, to the ranching era of the 18 and 1900s, as well as to the many hundreds of years before the first Europeans set foot on these lands. Making some dinner.
Some dinner.
First overnight sail in a long time.
Yeah.
Doing some beef stew, some cabbage here, and bread. Should be tasty.
Expecting it to be dark tonight?
It was a pretty bright moon last night. Depends on if the clouds stay away.
Yeah.
I know when we went to bed last night, the moon was so bright it looked like the sun shining on the water, but by the time we woke up, we were in crazy thick fog, so I'm sure it won't last all night.
Pretty rolly right now. We've got a nice
It is.
southwest swell, I think, with a west
Southwest
breeze.
swell and southwest west wind.
And a good wind at the moment.
Yeah.
20 plus knots.
Yeah, just over 20 knots, and we're doing, how much did you say we're doing over ground?
About 8 over ground, so we're going to get in a bit earlier than we expected, but I think this is going to die off overnight, so I think it'll slow down.
Nice.
Yeah. No other boats out here?
We haven't seen anything. We saw one sailboat earlier today, right when we were pulling out between Santa Rosa and Santa Cruz.
On its way up to the islands, right?
Yeah. Alright, that's all for this time, guys.
Huge thanks to all our patrons and followers, really appreciate it. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up because it really helps, and don't forget to leave us a comment so we can read it.
Yeah, see you next time.
Cheers,
Bye.
bye.